Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today I will be interviewing Mr. Lee Burns. So Mr. Burns, could you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Of course, I'm a 45-year-old male PE teacher living in Hong Kong. I've been here for 7 years now. Prior to this, I lived and worked in Bangkok, Thailand, and prior to that, a small island just off the coast of France called Jersey in the Channel Islands. I was working there as a PE teacher for 8 years, and prior to that again, 1 year in East London, cutting my teeth as a newly qualified teacher. And that's a little bit about me. I'm a keen sporting enthusiast and hopefully a good teacher to some, and I pray many.
Where were you born?
I was born in Plymouth, in Devon, part of the southwest of England. Very coastal town, slightly behind, definitely behind London in terms of fashion and sense, but a place full of good people, people that speak and converse well, and a good place to live and grow up.
Is your inspiration to become a PE teacher because you loved PE when you were in school?
It was more of a person who was influential to me when I was at school, so my very own PE teacher that I remain in contact with now, a gentleman called Roger Vavrika. So Roger was my PE teacher that was very selfless, give up a lot of time, of his own time, effort and dedication for many students and many young children of my age through secondary school from 11 through to 18. So he was the influencing factor. He was very well liked and very well respected by all students, irrespective of whether the student was a sporty student or not. So I admired this certain gentleman and aspired to step in his footsteps.
That sounds like this person is very meaningful to me.
Yeah, indeed. And like I said, I'm still in contact with him now. Actually, last summer when I returned to England, met up with him down in, he's retired of course now, but met up with him in he lives in a small hamlet just outside of Plymouth, and a good catch up with my parents as well.
Plymouth is a pretty nice place, would you say?
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. Plymouth is a seaside town, so it's has a maritime history, and World War II, it was part of the Blitz.
Oh.
So there's a fair bit of history. We've got the Mayflower Steps, Sir Francis Drake, and plenty more history.
So if it's close to the sea, do you get in the ocean often? Do you get in the sea?
As every summer, if you're brave enough to venture into the UK seas, because it's pretty chilly, but if you're brave enough, then it's a great place to be.
Let's shift the topic towards more on physical education. What are some healthy habits an athlete should have, and the type of mentality that will allow them to grow? What is your opinion on that?
Healthy habits, right? The most important factor, I think, in terms of healthy habits is balance. Balance of everything.
Okay.
You know, balance of rest, balance of recreation, balance of downtime, balance of hard work and dedication and in pursuit to mastery. But to, anything, whether it's dietary, whether it's your own mental health, balance is very important in every pursuit that we look to achieve in.
To athletes who have put physical activity to the side due to exams, just like I have for swimming, do you have any suggestions on how they can get back into that type of training?
Again, it's more psychological. I think the most helpful advice I could give anybody is little, small, and often. The idea of getting back into something, particularly swimming, in your example, is you need a lot of dedication to be a moderate or even good swimmer. We're talking everyday training, right? So it's not to think of the whole picture straight away. Let's take small steps forward, and before you know it, you're back into it. The idea of jumping straight back in after a prolonged or a medium absent is tough. And maybe it can increase the rate of procrastination. So yeah, little and often, small chunks. And steps forward.
Do you remember when you were doing exams?
Yes, it wasn't that long ago.
How did you deal with the stress? And did you have a good balance between sports and exams?
No, I didn't have a good balance because it was mostly sport and recreation and activities. I recall not being overly stressed about examinations. Because even at that age I realized that despite being an important milestone in life, they're not the most important factor at all. My health and happiness was more important for me. I wasn't overly concerned about my exams. Of course I was with regards to my results, but what I had learned was there. It was accessible to me. I either knew it at that stage or I did not. I either worked hard enough or I did not. And however, the anxieties or the concerns that I may have had before my examinations really wouldn't have had any impact on whether I'd done better or worse. So very little stress, very little anxiety, no worry, and probably too much football when I should have been revising.
Since we are taking a trip down memory lane, can you share any significant experiences from your life that have shaped you into the person I am seeing today?
Probably the biggest, most influential experience was having the ability to travel. Yes, an experience. I think experience is what shapes us. Is all too often we have preconceived ideas of what people are like. Certain cultures and civilizations are like. They're all incorrect until we experience these things firsthand. And what really brought my interest in terms of traveling and teaching to life was having the ability to travel in and around the Middle East. So it's just by chance actually through university. So we traveled, I think we started off in Greece and Piraeus, went to Lebanon, Syria, Aqaba, Alexandria, down through to Jordan, all the way down through Egypt and back up again. So it was experience is second to none in terms of what shapes you as a person.
Has those experiences led you to become more open-minded about the world around you?
Yes, without a doubt. Yeah, and I've kind of maintained that kind of open-mindedness ever since, I hope.
What would you say to the version of yourself before those travels? And how could you do better? Or
no, nothing at all. No, that's part of life, isn't it? You know, why would I spend time to think about something in the past that I have no influence over now, to improve the person that I am before I could improve? I'm quite happy the person that I've become, rational, hopefully. You know, plan things, think ahead, do the very best I can like most people do, and make mistakes just like everybody else. But the idea is that I'm here for good, to help people, to communicate, and to make the world look slightly a better place.
Do you think you've made it then? Like, have you managed to accomplish a lot of your goals?
No, I think as you get older, I think your goals definitely change, right? I've always had a goal, I've always had something to work towards. I'm kind of in a period of flux at the moment where I've got a young family and 2 young boys, and my time and effort is more concentrated on them as well as my students. So I'm in a period, I feel like I'm in a period of flux, like that middle-age period, and maybe in the future I'll become selfish enough to have objectives and targets that are maybe more specific to me in the future. But at the minute, my time and efforts are given to others and the people that I love.
I know that you have a really busy schedule ahead of you, so I want to thank you for taking the time for this interview. I know that this interview is cut short, but if I do have time when I come back, I do hope we could finish this interview some other time.
You, Douglas, always.
Thank you, Mr. Lawrence.
Thank you.
Thank you.